5.
Yeah.
2 hours.
That's like 5 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours.
Yeah, you deserve all the claps. Thank you very much for
Thank
accepting
you.
our interview with
Thank
us.
you.
So it was, I felt very privileged to listen to you. I everybody enjoyed. You shared lots of things, especially in networking and other things. It was inspiring. Thank you very much. Very valuable information.
Yeah, I was trying to a little bit to insert in, although networking is not a part of this lecture, but I said to myself, this is interesting for you, can be useful.
Very similar to this your speech, titled The Art of Leadership, but it's a chance to confront you when asking many questions, but not only focusing on leadership.
Okay.
Okay. In Turkey, we are experiencing very bad days sometimes, especially family-based companies. Family business is not long-lasting.
Yes, but that's nowhere in the world.
Maybe it goes on just
Nowhere in the world.
generation.
Nowhere in the world.
So Turkish economy is based on the maybe 90% of the family business. We don't know how to survive because it isn't not sustainable. So it disappears maybe in two or third generation. It suddenly disappears all those companies. It's your vertical management. Do you have any recommendation with the family business owners?
Of course. I think that this is, I'm by myself an intellectual entrepreneur. So I went by myself through such a, from start to today, a professional organization. So I can tell you that that I went through the same process, and that it's very important that people who are leading this, they have some mentorship, so that they are changing, because you have to change as a leader. When I started the company, the same as every other leader, entrepreneur, is even sending the faxes, is making everything by yourself. And then the organization grows, and then you need to be responsible for more people, then you have to start to lead on different way, you have to lead bigger crowds, bigger number of people, you have to professionalize management. It's not only you anymore. You have to start to think differently about yourself. You have to you have to find other priorities. This is what I did mention today. Is the leader can fail if he or she doesn't find right priorities. Priorities are different when you are a small business or bigger business. Priorities are different if you are in crisis or if you are not in crisis. So you are through the business. You have to change yourself, and you have to go to the school. You have to educate yourself. The most important things like how to make good finance, or to find a good accountant who is doing that. But every leader should, every entrepreneur should know at least enough finance to be able to ask the question. You don't know what to ask if you don't know what is finance, So that's why the bigger you are, the more you need the knowledge on finance, on marketing, on organization, on where the world is going, etc. And that's why, there were the numbers, like after some years, are only 2-3 years, are only 80% of these businesses. Then after 5 years, they are only 50%. Then after then after 10 years, they are only still 5% of businesses existing.
Okay.
So that is world phenomenon, not only Turkish.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So when is the right time to get consultancy for a startup company? They're starting from zero and they're climbing up the ladder. When is the right time? Because entrepreneurs especially, because this is costing a lot and they don't like consultancy in the beginning. They don't like it because consultants are are not enough, very often not enough going in depth of your business, and they don't know everything about your business. So that's why you don't see entrepreneurs who go for consultants. They are looking for friends. They are looking for
mentors. They are looking for colleagues, other businesses. They are more, this is in my experience.
You mentioned previously, but I can't ask you to remind me. How do we encourage our people? How do we encouraging people who work for us?
Encourage them to be more, bigger courage to have. You are giving them the different. When they are small, then they should start to walk, and you say you can do it, and then you encourage them, and then when they make the first step, you are then saying, wow, you reward. Managers don't know to reward people, especially not in Europe. In America, they are better in rewarding people. You have to know to reward people with words. You have to start to know your people, whether they are good for, whether they like money, or whether they like honor, or whether they like to go for trip, or what do they like? What do they appreciate? That is the problem, I have 40 people employed, and I have about 80 professors who are coming and leaving, but often staying half a year. So these 80 professors I encourage by making them a part of a big project. I'm in fact encouraging them by giving them the chance that our students are saying, wow, they are great, because every day we evaluate professors. Every day the students are asked to say, was he good? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 is the best. Every day we evaluate. So students are telling professors. So for professors, motivation is the students say, I never had better professor in my life. And I really have good professors. But for employees, you have to see, I have ladies who like to have a free day. Everybody likes the nice words. You say, you were really great. So somebody likes to hear, you are great, fantastic, and nothing else. I have such a lady who is probably the best worker, and she doesn't want anything else than you are really saying you are great. Then I offer her some money, a trip, but she said, no, I don't need it. I'm very happy that you are there. Then I have some 2, 3 people who are, well, there are not many, 2, 3 who are all the time talking about the money. They would like to have more money, For me, money is not the biggest motivator, because I should give her more, and next year she will come for more, etc. So, but okay, I try to find a way to give her a little more. Then there are people who like to go for a seminar, for a good seminar somewhere abroad, and I send them. Then there are people who like to go to school, to go for MBA or something, to study. So they are very, very different. You, as a leader, you are obliged to know this. What are their wishes?
Do you appreciate it?
Yes, I do. But sometimes I'm also angry and disappointed, and I'm then telling them, and I'm saying that I have a big problem because I would like to get rid of them. And I'm thinking how this happened once or twice in all my career, and just now one of these girls decided to leave by herself. Because I told her a month ago or 2 months ago, I said, I don't know what I should do with you. Because she was not so lazy or something, but she was not competent. She was not eager to go to read the official papers, what is written in. So she was misdirecting me, misleading me, etc. And I told her, I said, I'm very dissatisfied, and I really would prefer that you leave. And then I didn't talk anymore, and then she was by herself getting a good opportunity and leaving, and I'm very happy she did. Because you know what I said today, fail down syndrome. Fail down syndrome. This is terrible, because you are all the time dealing with this bloody problem makers, instead of focusing on good people, let's go further. You are, that is the problem. Leaders are spending too much time with problematic people instead of with good people.
Yeah, that's great. We are in digital age, so yes. The world is changing, very rapidly changing,
future, I don't know. But what I learned last week from our professor, Bill Fisher from IMD Lausanne, he had a big forum like this one, 100 people. Yeah, that's very clever, yes, because it's so hot. I don't know how in Turkey, I have always the problem with keeping this glass, So, the digital era is like that the speed became so big, with such a difference in speed of the changes, that we are saying, the only constant thing is the speed, The only constant thing is the change. But this change is now so quick that you are hardly, how shall I say, having time to say, relax, and then we shall go further. We are just changing. So, and I think that here you will need to look for the change in every segment of organization. Marketing will be differently made. Accounting will be differently made. You will lead the team differently. But then I asked these guys who were, the professor was speaking there, and then I had a panel, and they were talking how they do, how they implement. And then I said to them at the end, all the room was listening to hearing what I said. I said, you guys, you gentlemen, tell me now, would you come here if I wrote you an email? You wouldn't. I had to hug you, call you, convince you, cry, almost cry, show my emotions, how much I love you, and how much I want you to come. I said, so I used high touch, not high tech, to get you here. So how can you comment that? And they said, yes, it will
touching someone's emotions.
Touching emotions. And they said, this is true. There will be always necessary both. So blended, what we have in our school, we are now talking a lot about blended education, so that we should make some subjects which are not so personalized by email and by online education, but leadership and other subjects, high touch.
In general, do you think that leading is a man's work?
Men's world.
Man's work.
Work.
Yeah.
No. You mean men and women, or men?
Yeah,
human?
Yeah, human being as a human being.
Yeah, that is for sure. Although you see also among animals, some are leading and some are not. But I think that this is. I'm not sure I understood really your question. What you really.
The leaders are generally men.
A man as a man.
Yeah. Leaders are men generally.
No, it's changing very much. In Slovenia, in Europe in general, we have about 15% of biggest leaders are already women, but it will be more. Women have one problem, and it's from year to year more. Women have one problem, and that is that they have children, and they are raising children, and then they are for some years out of their job. Especially in former socialist countries, I don't know how it is in Turkey, but in Slovenia you get 1 full year paid to stay at home, maternity leave. How many months you get here? How many months in Turkey?
6 months.
Yeah, in Slovenia 1 year, and then you still get 1 month of vacation from last year, 1 month of vacation from next year, and if you say to the doctor, my child is really not well, then you get automatically prolongation for 3 months. Extra. Paid. So 12 months plus 3 is 15 months plus 2 months of vacation is 17 months. So I almost don't see them 2 years, And I have a lot of women employed. So it is not really fantastic, because you are then employing somebody else on their place. And this one is a very good one, and you don't want to leave it, because you look for good people. And so your organization is getting bigger and bigger, more and more people, which you don't need in fact, So that is a little bit of a problem. But you have some professions, like in education, medicine, pharmacy, chemistry, you have in Europe many women employed, more than men already.
In Turkey, they're discussing about glass ceiling systems for women who they're climbing on some point and they're stopped. That's why.
They are, I don't know how it's here, but in Slovenia we are guilty by ourselves, women, because they are not ambitious enough. They are just stopping and they are thinking, I shall not be chosen or something like that. But it's not true. Women are very respected working power because they are very good, they are very communicative. In some businesses, like in consultancy, etc., women are much better than men. In marketing, women are much better than men. In finance, in Slovenia, we have mostly women. In finance also. So, in Slovenia, women have a lot to say.
Yeah. Have you ever been in Turkey before?
Yeah, but always in Istanbul.
Yeah, is this your first time in Izmir?
In Izmir, first time.
Yeah, okay.
Beautiful place. I love the seaside. I like sea. This inspires me, you know. I like the sea, and I like the sun, and I like, you know, I like to come to Istanbul also because it's a big town. But I don't imagine to live there, you know. It must be difficult because you come from from green Slovenia, you know. In such a town like Izmir or Istanbul, you have to learn how to live differently. You know, how to operate differently. In such a big town, you have to use, to be much more aware of time management, priorities. You have to use the public transportation if it's possible. Because in public transportation you can read, you can study. In driving you are only looking for the traffic, you know? Yeah. There are different ways of living if you live in the big town. Yeah. People should start to learn to live differently.
Have you taught students in your country?
Yeah. In my school. In my school. I have the technical director of Ceeman. He graduated. I have some from eith, some from Doktoru group. I have some from Ceeman. But not enough. I would like to have more. Because in my school, we have 80% of foreign students. 80%. But perhaps only 0.5% or 1% are Turks. So if I have 16 countries in the class, I would like to see at least 1 Turk. So I don't imagine that the masses would come, but I like to give one or 2 Turks, you know.
Do you have partnership in Turkey?
No, I don't, and I should do it. I collaborate well with Sabancı University, with Bosporus, they are my members, with Izmir, but perhaps we should together do some things. You know? Together make some programs or something. But you know, it's nice if they come to us, because there they meet Germans, Japanese, Koreans, South Africans, Nigerians, Russians, I said already, Polish, Slovenian, all this former Yugoslavia is there. So they, you know, it's a network. Yeah. You start to create a great network for your future.
That's a great challenge.
Yeah.
You said you have a reputation worldwide.
Yeah, we have it. We have it especially because of these innovations.
How long is that thing in your job?
I made this school 30 years ago.
30?
Yeah. 29, not 30 years ago. I made a school when the work management was still, as I said, not well regarded, was not accepted. So I call it School for Educating Leading Workers. You know, leading workers. Everybody has to be worker in socialism. Yeah. And then, you know, then I started, and then I was financed by the chamber, so that was good, because I didn't have problems with the money in the beginning when nobody understood what was management. But then after 14 years, I asked chamber to give.
What do you think about knowledge and experience, theory and work? Which one is much valuable for you?
I think that knowledge has no meaning without experience and without action. And action is also not good if it's not based on some knowledge. from the knowledge, you know. So I think we need both. But you know what it is? You are supposed to have knowledge when you come to such a function. Yeah. Knowledge is precondition. You know, we shouldn't teach in management schools knowledge anymore so much. You are supposed to bring this knowledge with you, and there we try to make how do I say, additional, giving you some newest, sharing experience with others, meeting new people, learning new cultures, getting inspiration. You know, it's different, but creating network is so terribly important. That's why it's good to go, if you have one student, send them to international schools. Not only because they speak English, but where they meet 15, 20 countries in the classroom.
Also, I'm lecturing at the university, so I want to ask you a question, so private, so I was telling my students, so when people choose to be a career, should they think should they follow their dream jobs, or should they follow the money? So you can
certainly not the money.
Yeah,
certainly not the money.
Yeah, you should earn your life. You know.
Oh, of course, but
what is it?
You know what?
You know, there's a dilemma in here.
Yes, yeah, I know. And all these management schools are too much talking about the money. I'm against that. I'm against that. Like, if you go for Financial Times ranking, you know, they are telling you that the first, the first three criteria are how much money you earn, how much money you earned, what is the financial difference between when you were not in the school and when you finished your MBA. What was the difference? And the third one was for how many multinationals you are working. And I say, first of all, money is not the only measure. Secondly, you know, we have executive education, so people had a good job before already. So the difference between salaries is not so big anymore. And the third, I don't make my management school for multinationals. I made it for people who would like to lead, to be leaders, to, you know, to make better society, etc. So it doesn't interest me. No. Money is coming still. Money will come.
If you create a value.
If you create a value. And you know, money is a short time motivator. Money is motivating you shortly. You know, if people in your job, as I said before already, want to have more money, they will never be satisfied. But they will never be big people. Okay. You know, great leaders are inspired by meaningful things, meaning. And also people in the school, they want to see meaning of what I'm doing. Is this good for somebody? You know?
Yeah. Do you have a special inspiring verse or quotation you keep in your mind?
Yes. I have this you know, somebody said today in the beginning, your president of assembly said, or Mr. Demirtas said, we are adjusting to the wines. We are not going against the wines. There is much better still explanation. We are using the wines to turn the wine mill so that you get a new energy. I didn't want to say that there, but you know, using things for new opportunities. That is the right word, you know. So I would say the real quote is Chinese, and it says that people are building walls so that they protect themselves against the wind. But the clever person should use the wind to run your windmill. That's the right thing, you know. And my quotation, I would take the one from Mandela, who said that it's not a shame if you fail, but because you have to but the great thing is that you collect yourself and go further. You know, every time you have to stand up. This is here written. I shall give you this, but that is something which is very, for me, I am a real entrepreneur. I see how in life, also in private life, you should use to turn crisis into opportunity. You know, you should turn that into opportunity so that you are not, you know, this appreciative, this positive change. That is something special. You remember what I was mentioning? Yeah. Appreciative inquiry, you know? I'm looking, where is this? Yeah, the brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in raising every time you fall. You know? That is why I think that this is a great thing.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Kept you waiting.
No, it's okay. Do you know what I would like still to say?
I have a question about the future time. In future, it can be on leadership society.
Leadership society?
Yeah.
How did you mean that?
After 30 or 40 years.
How will it look like?
Yeah.
What
society?
Leadership community.
Yeah.
Community.
Yok, liderlik toplumdan bahsediyorum.
Are we going to face with the community without leaders?
Aha, without leaders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Henry Mintzberg, the famous guru in management, he is talking already about community-ship. You know? Yeah. How people will live tomorrow more, how we will live tomorrow more, etc. I think that in democratic society you need less leadership. But I think that it will always stay somebody who will pop out. Perhaps not professional. You know, in the past, we also didn't have professional leaders. But it always somebody came to lead a group of people, you know. So I have problem to imagine without any leadership the future. But how it will be, that we don't know. But you know what I wanted to say to you? When we started to talk about entrepreneurship. I think that everybody should realize, first of all, what is an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur, the definition of entrepreneur, is a person who is having an idea, seeing opportunity how to implement this idea, how shall I say, collecting people around resources, you know, for people and money to realize this idea. And then to have a courage, guts, we say, you know, guts, feeling, to take the risk to make it. You know, this is the entrepreneur.
Yes, you summarize that.
You know, so this is
The
the
result is.
So, would you like to have this?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love it.
Would you like?
I love it.
Yeah, then I give it to you. I just make the right order. So, like that, like that. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and here it is. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.